Okay, this is Johnny and this is the What If channel, and this is a slightly delayed, but it's the, I guess the analysis of my last race, the Eastbourne race, my first proper triathlon of the year. I had some targets. Could I hit these targets? In the previous video, I had a bit of a fail with a 10K where I had pretty lofty aims and I got nowhere near them. I've tried to be a bit more balanced in this one, and so the aims aren't quite so lofty, but they were still quite stretched. So how did it go? Well, it was an interesting day. It was super hot, which I wasn't expecting. It was 31 degrees on the bike, which made things very difficult. The bike was very hilly. It was a competitive race, lots of competitors, a lot of people, a bit of aggro on the bike course. A few people I had to have a word with for riding dangerously. The swim was good in the sense that the water was flat, although there was quite a strong current on the way out. And the run, man, the run. Yeah, well, we'll get to that. So first of all, let's just recap kind of what I was hoping to achieve. So I'll just read that out. So in the previous video, I said my aim was to come 7th in my age group on an overall time of 2 hours 17. That was with a 24-minute 30 1500 meter swim, a 108 40k bike, and a 39:45 10k run. So I finished 9th in my age category, which is not too bad considering I was aiming for 7th. Overall time 2 hours 22, so I was a good 5 minutes off where I wanted to be. Remember the run I mentioned a minute ago. Swim was really good. The time was 21:39. I feel like that's a bit fast for a 1500 meters based on my training, so I don't know if the course was slightly short or not. Bike was a 113. Now, whilst I was aiming for a 108, it was much more hilly than I was expecting, and it was 31 degrees. And I'm actually really pleased with that time because it put me only 3 minutes off a friend of mine who's an extremely good cyclist. So I was pleased with that. And then the run, oh man, the run. Literally, I think the most painful run I've ever done in my life. Like, I got off the bike and my legs were like rocks. The thought of doing a 10k was just like the last thing. I mean, it was just awful. I mean, it was literally, it got so bad that on some of the turnarounds I actually had to walk just to get the tightness out of my legs. That wasn't just fitness, that was actually down to poor hydration on my part. I've had this before where my legs go solid and I feel sick, and it was poor hydration. I didn't anticipate how hot it was going to be, and I didn't have enough fluids on the bike, so it's partly my fault. Having said that, I did get to the end, but my run was a 45 minutes, which when you consider the previous video where I was kind of like, bemoaning my terrible 10k race, I've managed to achieve another terrible 10k, so something to work on. So overall, the winner, if you're interested, did it in a 1 hour 58, so considerably faster than me, 24 minutes. The fastest in my age group, a little bit closer, 2 hours 12, so just 10 minutes faster than me. Swim 23:31, so I was quicker in the swim. He had a quicker bike and he had a run probably around where I wanted to be, which was 41 minutes. So yeah, overall, I was pleased because it was such a tough race with the heat. The bike I was pleased with because it was extremely hilly and I didn't really know how that was going to go. The run was, it was just, as I said, just super painful. And it was a really good example of where not to give up, gritting your teeth, pushing through and keep going. As much as I didn't want to, I can sit here now and I feel moderately pleased that I finished the race. I think if I just stopped in the 10k, which, I did consider quite a few times, I'd be really disappointed. This video would be really, not negative, but just a bit of a downer. So where does that put me on track for my ridiculous and totally unrealistic, impossible challenge, which is, we talked about in the previous video, the Olympics up here. Again, just to reiterate, I know this isn't possible, but we're going to give it a go. So last time I did a video about the 10k, I had to add this extra little section because all my times went backwards, these lines here. Thankfully, although the run is still down here, I have been able to sort of moderately or partially fold things back up because my swim has gone from a 25 up to I've kind of said 22 because I'm not sure about that time being accurate, but still an improvement. and there was a little movement on the bike, just a little bit of a movement there, and potentially on the flat course it could be, you know, 110 or under. So yeah, positive race. A good example of why not to give up, because I came away with an improvement. I enjoyed it, even though it was painful. It was a really well run race, met lots of cool people, had a good time, and I'm ready for the next one. So what's next? I hear you ask. So I've got a sort of club race coming up in August, and that's a 400 metre swim in a pool with a 5k run. So that's kind of a little bit of a warm up just to keep me going. And then my sort of AA race, even more A race in Eastbourne. I'm in Wales at Bala, full triathlon, and again, age group qualifier. And so I'm going to go for that. And my target overall is to try and qualify my age group, although I do know that might not happen. So maybe 5th or 6th in my age group is more realistic. And I'm looking for a time under 2 hours 15. So there we go. Good and bad. Bit of progress, bit of backwards progress. I'm still going, I'm still working hard, I'm still training hard. So if you're watching this and you're still listening to my voice rambling on, be inspired to keep going, keep fighting, keep working hard, and you can get there. It just might take longer than you hoped. Right, I'll see you later.